welcome to tonight's stream, everybody. And Hiko, yeah, if you want to do upgrade to carp gear, definitely want to go for that Fortuna feeder. Is probably the best starting point for some of the higher end maps. So tonight we're going to be hunting carp. Take a poll here from viewers whether to stay here at Oldburg or now that I have it unlocked, I can go to Bear Lake, which I have not been to yet. As far as gear goes, I have upgraded, or not upgraded, but bought a new rod and reel. I've got the Fortuna Feeder 420 with a Titan on there. I just didn't want to keep waiting for another week or so to be able to afford the HSV plus the rod, so I decided I might as well go ahead and upgrade now and work towards the HSV next. And my goal tonight is to get a little more silver and end the stream by investigating the upgrade options for the Lacerti and the Adriatica. I know the Adriatica's friction brakes I'm definitely going to upgrade because it's like 78 silver and brings the max drag up to 9 kilograms. So it's a useful upgrade, and I plan to keep this reel around for a while longer, so might as well do it. And the Lacerti has some silver options I found at some lakes that bring it up to around 5 kilos. There is the max upgrade that goes up to 6 kilograms, but I haven't found a map yet that offers that option with silver, only gold. So we'll see if I can find a solution to that. But with that being said, does anybody have any thoughts between staying here at Oldburg or going to Bear Lake? If we stay here, I'll probably go over here to my usual spot, go after some grass and common carp with the new rod plus some of my old carp rod. Also, let me know if my audio is a little unbalanced. I made a few adjustments to my device, so hopefully it's coming through with more volume than it has been the past few streams, but hopefully it's not too loud. If it is, let me know and I will tune that down a bit. I guess for now I'll go ahead and start out over here at my usual Oldburg spot, and as we get some more viewers trickling in, we'll take the poll again to see what the preference is. So Hiko, what have you mainly been fishing? You say you're enjoying spin fishing a lot. You've been going after a lot of pike or trout, or what species mainly? We're all set up here. Looks good. And I have also unlocked leaders for telerods, so I may go pick up one of those and see if we can't pick up some eel on telescopic. But for now, let's just throw a little worm out there. So if you are familiar with this spot, it's definitely my favorite spot on Oldburg. I've been hanging out here for the past couple weeks, and you can get quite a variety here. You can get some tench in the algae here, bleak right in this little shallow part, plenty of roach. out this direction, you can get rough, sometimes bream and gibel carp. And out there in that algae section, you can get a lot of grass and common carp, and occasionally a black carp, which is always great for XP. Might as well get some bait while we're waiting for the fish to bite. Have some delicious cucumbers. Only downside of this spot, going for these larger carp, is the bite rate's not spectacular, but once you get one of those carp on there, it's worth it. And just because I'm not hearing any, seeing any responses, let me just go over to the chat real quick here. Looks like we got something biting on the worm. Okay, good deal. I just want to make sure that I didn't completely break the output. Good deal, good deal. Yeah, I was previously coming through quiet, so I had to make some adjustments. Improve that. So usually on this lake, if you're going after the largest carp species, you'll want to use pellets and boilies. I think cocoa and cream, cocos and cream is the most popular one here. Let's see, grass carp. Oh, blackcurrant and esterberry is pretty popular, but that also gets a lot of tench. Yeah, cocos and cream pellets are the other big one, but I don't have anything that can get anything near that size, so I certainly don't want to even risk getting anything like that. My biggest fish out here has been actually on my record here. This 14.7 kilo grass carp, which I caught on stream with the Adriatica and the little Palmer, which is really only rated for maybe up to like a 9 kilo fish safely, so that was a fun and risky fight, but that's the kind of stuff I like. I'm sure I'm throwing silver away with the wear and tear I put on the reels going after stuff much bigger than it should be going after, but that's the fun in it. It's like a good Carpzilla to liven up the night. So right now I've got potatoes on the bait out there, which is usually pretty good out here. Sometimes I'll switch to algae. Oh yeah, sucks that I lost the reel there. The worst experience I had out here early on, I had hooked a huge black carp. I'll never know exactly what size it is, but I fought it for about 45 minutes, and I actually got it in the little small side pond, drug it all the way out to the area south of the camp, and it was finally so worn out it just wouldn't fight at all. So I was dragging it across the top of the water. It looked huge, but I couldn't get it close enough to shore to get it in the net because my gear could not, it just couldn't handle the weight of the fish. I sat there for about 15 minutes at the shore doing everything I could to try to finagle it in. Finally had to give up on it. So what we got on here? Looks like a little rough. Yep. I don't mind catching rough out here because usually there's a decent cafe order for them. So it's nice, easy, stress-free silver. And these have been going a while without hitting anything, so let me recast them. Yeah, I just recently had to repair the Adriatica on from a common carp and grass carp I was fighting out here. The common carp took me all the way across the lake. So those of you that have just recently joined the stream, tonight we are going after carp. I just put together this new Fortune Feeder FD420 with a Titan reel. So I'm putting it to the test and sort of viewer's choice. Right now I'm just out here at Oldburg, but I have not been to Bear Lake yet. So if you guys would like to see me attempt my first foray into Bear Lake, then certainly let me know and I will head that way and see what that lake is all about. Just let me know in the chat if that's what you'd prefer and we'll travel. Right now the carp out here, the bite rate doesn't seem too terribly high, so a change in locale may be necessary. Go ahead and recast this. Just in case, I'm going to try swapping the potatoes out for algae and see if they have better luck. Fish on line 1. It's an okay size rough there. Go back to mosquito. Nice. I know the rough spot in mosquito has been very active lately, and for that matter, this spot over here was really active for bream and roach earlier. They were hitting the rod so fast I never had time to even catch some bait between casts. But tonight's objective is certainly larger than bream. Guess that one decided it didn't want the worm after all. Yeah, I tried to usually avoid looking for particular spots with the coordinates and everything, because one of the things I really enjoy about Russian fishing is kind of getting a general idea of what the fish like, and then just see. And since they are dynamic anyways and move around, for me it's fun to just explore the lakes each day and see what's hitting on what in each spot. Oh yeah, it looks like another rough probably. Yep, just a little one. But that being said, this carp spot seems to be dry right now, so I think we'll try somewhere else. Might just move down a little bit and try a little further down this algae. Sometimes if this particular spot's not getting any hits, I can move down to the cove and cast in and do all right. Good old cucumbers and tea, the snack of champions. See, if they're not hitting where I'm at, I'll just try to go over here to the far end of that algae and try this area, and sometimes I'll have some luck. Sometimes this area just doesn't work, but that's the way it is. this one maybe snagged on a weed down there. Yeah. Alright, let's see if we have any more luck on this side. I might actually, instead of using a bottom rod here, just to make it a little more active, I think I'll switch to the telescopic. Got some flies on there right now. Let's go for something a little bigger. With a size 14 hook, throw some garlic dough on there, see if we can't get a tench to hit. Although you do have to be careful with tench on a telescopic rod. One of the bigger ones hit, it's pretty much an instant line break. This one's intent on getting caught in the weeds out there. Give this spot a few more minutes. If don't start getting any hits, may go ahead and make the trip to Bear Lake and start exploring that map. There we go. Now we're getting some action. May have been a false alarm. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't feel very big. What is this? A little tench. So, tench out there right now, then there's probably not much in the way of carp. You know, I've been to Belaya a few times, and something about that map, it just I had zero luck there. I struggle to even make up the cost of the trip out. I've tried float fishing, bottom fishing, and spin fishing, which I think for spin fishing, his problem is I really haven't invested much into spin fishing, so my lure selection is bare bones, and I can't really get a long enough cast to get to many of the spots. But it is not a great location for me. Little roach there. Winding Rivulet is kind of my daily spot because I usually have bleak and river mussel orders, which I can go fill in no time right there next to the cafe. Make a quick, usually like 30 or 40 silver. But since I haven't really done much with spin fishing, I think I haven't even reached 30% yet. I haven't really bothered going to Quarry Lake, and I know I've unlocked Volkov, but I don't think I'm going to have much luck at Volkov either, since it's mostly for trolling as well, from my understanding. Yeah, what do we got? A little gibble carp, it looks like. Yep. And something teasing the algae line. I don't think the potatoes are going to be getting anything here tonight, unfortunately. I think we're going to give whatever that was another minute here to see if it gets back on the line. And if not, I do believe it's time to make my first trip to Bear Lake. Come on, just eat the potato. It's where sometimes you get these fish that'll just play around with the bait for 3 or 4 minutes before they decide to take it. There we go. Now it's on. Another little one, looks like. That looks like a crucian carp. Yep. Okay, well, since my usual carp spot is dried up, and I know this area is usually pretty good for carp, but I swear I find weeds in that area more often than anything. I think it is time for Bear Lake. So, let's make the trip. I'll have to buy the map when I get there as well. Hopefully it's not too expensive. Upgrading getting the new carp rod put together, and between the reel, the rod, and the line, that was an expensive endeavor right there. Okay. I'm assuming this is the administration. Nope, that's the fish market. Ah, oh, that's the fish market. Okay. Feed mixes, grocery store. Alright, that's cheap enough. Go. Alright, let's see. So I don't know if there's bridges to get to the other side or if you just have to cast over, but I just want to start by going over here to this cove and see what the lay of the land looks like. Yeah, the spiker is, and the spiker is one of the lures I had out there, but I think it was just mostly a casting distance issue because I just had the little starting reel and rod, and I couldn't even make it out to the rocks that are pretty popular. Let's see, we've got a lot of grass here. Let's go to the record and see what things are biting on here. We've got leather carp and mirror carp are probably bigger than I want to try to go after right now. Let's switch to telescopic rods to get some more realistic things here. Cheese and honey dough, it looks like, are common carp options. And potatoes for grass carp, or the usual algae as well. So I guess we'll start by trying this spot out, see what it's like. Let's try potatoes on this one. And throw some cheese on this line. So I do know that Bear Lake doesn't have a cafe, which is unfortunate. Yeah, it sounds like that kit would be a good investment for spin fishing. That may be something I'd look into in the near future. I do know that now that I have this mid-tier upgrade, I'm definitely going to go ahead and save up for the HSV now. Let's see, so this is pretty shallow water here. I'm kind of scared to put any bait that a carp will go after on my telescopic rod, since this thing can only really handle up to about a 7-kilo fish. Let's see, what else do we have at this lake? Might try some honey dough, see what we can do with that, which I apparently have not made any yet, so scratch that. What else do we have? Ream. I could put a worm on, try to go after some sleepers. Should be easy enough. I have no clue where the best spots to fish are at this lake. Just kind of went to the closest thing, and I'll work my way around if this area doesn't get any results. I have heard some people mention in chat that bear's been dead, but I think that's mostly just in reference to bream. I don't know how many people are going after anything else right now. There we go. See what the first fish is of Bear Lake. A perch. Of course it's a perch. Nothing exciting there. If I had to guess just by the map, I'm going to assume these deeper holes are going to be decent spots to find burbot. What else we have here? We've got... I don't see any catfish. Could try to go for some tench. Looks like you can get some pretty big frogs out here. Barbel is something I have not gone after. I don't know that I've really got anything they would... I guess they do go after cheese, so I could try... Nope. Got something going after this. There we go. Gibble carp, another uninteresting fish there. No results on the carp rod, so guess we'll try another area. Yeah, some of the mirror carp and leather carp, I can imagine, are quite the fight. Shoot, even a 6-kilo common carp will put up quite the hassle. Alright, I'm going to go check out some more of this area. Got a nice little open area here. Lots of grass coverage out there. So here's where the water starts to get a little deeper. Might try casting out towards one of those. And that patch looks interesting. Yeah, let's try exploring this patch here. Got the potatoes on. Let's go ahead and try some algae as well. Hopefully not snag anything out there. Oh man, can't imagine the kind of wear and tear that put on there. And just for the heck of it, let's try a little bit of ultralight spin fishing across that. With my piddly little short cast. Can't imagine I'd have much luck with a jig out here. On Semolina. Oh, snack. Oh man. This is one thing in RF4 that I wish they would change. It's such a pain in the snag, and I know I can just relog, which I probably will end up doing because 9 times out of 10 I'll sit here for 3 or 4 minutes and it will not come loose. Well, lesson learned. Don't try to reel through that. Doesn't seem like anything's hitting the potatoes or algae out there either. Well, since we need to relog anyways, because I'm not going to sit here forever on that snag, I'm going to take a peek around the corner and see what this side looks like. Mostly just more grass coverage with some medium depth spots out through there. I wonder if that deeper hole out there may be something to try to get into possibly. And one last little check up here. A lot of tall grass, and this area over here looks interesting. This might be a good area to try a float. Okay, we got lots of lily pads over on this end. And looks like a really thick grass up there. Top right of the map. So, okay, so like this little hole up here. Yeah, a whole lot of grass up on this side of the map. That does seem promising. Okay, so since I did get a snag and need to relog to clear that up, let me do that and then come up here and try this section. Yeah, with the spots changing, but general areas. I mean, we've got a fallen tree, some grass, and some depth change. So there's a decent chance something will hit there. All right, go back in. Yeah, I really wish they would change the snag system. I would even be okay if they added it as a new skill in one of the trees that you had to invest a point in to improve your odds of getting out of a snag. Something to make it less of a pain in the butt. All right. So, this okay? It's nothing. I thought it might have been a food station there. Speaking of, some cucumbers, and head north. Collect some bait along the way. Eventually I'm going to find a good use for those mayfly larvae. I think they're useful in a couple of the rivers, but I haven't had much luck with them catching anything special on Oldberg or the usual haunts on Winding Rivulet. Okay, so right around here was that shallow hole, so let's see, these are usually 50 meters, so it's going to be a decently long cast to get out there. Let's try to get it lined up just right. It looks like it's that Looks like it's that grass patch right out there. Yeah. Alright, get some more carp bait on. And the potatoes have not been doing a whole lot, so let's try switching to cheese on both of these, or at least one of them. Here's my farthest cast. Hey gamer, how you doing? Out here on my first trip to Bear Lake. So far I've caught a perch and a gibble carp. Nothing spectacular. $55.31. Let's see. I am a ways north of that. Alright, let me see if I can find that spot. I'm a little worried about getting snagged in all this grass anyways right now. I already had one snag and relogged. Alright, so 55.31. Let's see, where are we going here? Cucumber time again. I don't know why, but tonight my food bar seems to be going down a lot faster than usual. To the left of the spawn? Okay. It's a weird tree. So I've got my old carp rig and the new one that I'll try using. I do plan at the end of the stream checking out the friction brake upgrade options for the Adriatica and the Lacerti, since I plan to hold on to them for a while because it's going to take me a while to save up again to get an HSV. I might as well get a little more oomph out of those if it's cheap. So that's the plan for the end of the stream. Alright, 55.31, so get further down this way. Any idea what baits have been good for non-trophies out here? I've been trying potatoes and algae and I haven't had too much luck. Just keep it on with potatoes. Alrighty. Alright, 55.31 is where we are going. So yeah, that's what I've been trying, potato and algae. So hopefully we'll have some luck with it at this spot. Alright, getting close. 55.31. Okay, let's see, what's their depth looking like? I'm guessing that hole is the spot to go for, which looks like it's about probably 27, 28 meters out. Switch back to potatoes. Stand to the right of the grass. Okay, so like in this spot here. 17 meter clip. Alright, we'll try it. And this one's got the algae on it. See how it does. Got to set the clip here. So it looks like it's actually, with that clip, it's going to be probably in the slightly more shallow part. Alright. Now with those two out, the line's taut enough. Okay, so now let's do a little bit of float fishing while we wait for those to get some bites. What's the depth here? Everything seems quite shallow in this area, so I just want to keep it at 25 centimeter. Oh, got a hit already. Okay. That's a good sign. Alright, much better luck than we've had elsewhere. Thanks for that tip for sure. Okay. Let's see what we've got here for our first, hopefully, decent carp. Looks like a little grass carp. All right. Now we're getting some carp. We have on this line. The old Adriatica here. Where'd you go? Tiny grass carp. That one may end up becoming pieces of meat. Actually, I think it might be too big for meat. Alright, back to seeing what we can get out in the grass here. Some worms. Ooh, can't catch a break. You got your usual haunt, gamer? Something can't quite make up its mind whether it wants to take it or not. Come on. There we go. We got another little grass carp. That's the biggest one of the night so far, though. Almost 5 kilos. Seems like the algae is getting some bigger ones, but we got see what the potatoes bring us on this one. Gotta fight now. Alright, well, I had to guess. This is probably either a 4 kilo common carp or 7 kilo grass carp. This poor Adriatica is not cut out for this work. Come on. Oh, getting some hot line there. Let it cool off a bit. Ooh. This is going to put some wear on the line for sure. All right, chat. Let's take a pool here. Who thinks it's a grass carp? Who thinks it's a common carp? Looks like we're starting to get away. Yeah, he's the difference between here and Old Berg is at least in Old Berg you can sort of circle around the lake on these shorter spools and be okay. I don't know if I might be able to get around this cove and circle this one back down. think I need to upgrade the grease I have on this Adriatica reel too, because it's got the stock express grease, which I don't think is made for this kind of a fight. Oh, I'm leaving it a little bit low right now, gamer, because I'm getting some overheating on the line. Letting it cool off a bit. Got a nice big one on here. There we go. Oop. Get the line taut again. Yeah. Alright, where's this thing at? Trying to steer it back away so it doesn't spool me. These are the kind of carp fights I like. Eat some champion snack of cucumber and tea. I'm on Steam. Yeah, I might look into. I see those pop up on the chat. Look into what those are all about. All right, now we're back on this thing. The way this thing is fighting, I don't know if this is a grass or a common. It feels more like a common carp. Okay, yeah, I might look into those for sure. Where's this thing at? Okay. This poor Adriatica. It never signed up for this. It's alright, I'm going to upgrade this thing's friction brakes. All will be well after that, I'm sure. You know, I probably need to go ahead and invest in a sieve to start making coffee for these carp fights as well, because I don't think the tea is cutting it. I think this thing's starting to wear down. Come on. Come on in, Carp. The old Saber 60. Ah. Only slightly better than the upgraded Adriatica will be. I'm on a mission to try and just upgrade all my old reels as much as I can and hoard them, make them last. We want to take some bets on the size of this fish. I think we're going to get it in here soon. It's losing the fight now. That cucumber and tea power is picking up. If I can just get it to come to the surface, we're good to go. Well, slowly coming to the shore here. Yeah, I'm looking at like the Lacerti, for example. If I get one of the 10 silver upgrades for the Lacerti, I don't mind paying the 10 silver again when it needs to be repaired. If it means I can make the reel last a couple more levels, it seems like something worth doing. It looks like it's a mirror leather carp, actually, which will be my first one of whichever it is. Get in here, chunky boy. 6.5 kilo leather carp. All right. On the Lacerti, the upgrade, the max one, which I haven't found a place you can get it with silver yet, took it up to 6 kilo. I believe the highest one with silver that was at Mosquito was it was like 12 silver, and it brings it up to I think 5.2 or 5.6. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. For only 10 or 12 silver, might as well. The Adriatica is a little more risky. I mean, it brings it up to a 9 kilo, so it's on par with the Saber 40 for like 78 silver. My hope is that if I do that plus upgrade the oil, that it won't wear down very quick, and I can definitely go after some bigger fish that way. Okay, now where is... I ran past it. Yeah, the Lacerti I'll recommend is mainly for bream and such, but I don't think... Do we have something on here? We do. So this one is the Titan here. Looks like whatever's on it's not too much of a fighter. So I've got an increase. I don't like to go into the red, but I get up to as much as I can on the orange. If I go all the way, I can go to, looks like 20, I can go to 28 without going all the way out. Will do. I also need to look into, I have the inline and snowman rigs unlocked now, so I might have to start trying those out at some point. What do we got here? Looks like a grass carp again. So the leather carp was caught on the potatoes, and the grass carp seemed plenty happy going after the algae out here right now. The grass carp has become one with the grass. There it is. Where'd you go? Ah, that's nice. 9 kilos. So yeah, that's so much better. Fighting that on the Adriatica, that would have been rough. Okay, so my setup on this, I've got 12.5 kilo on the line. Then my carp mix a 13.8 liter. Running a size 1 hook on here, and then the Titan. I have some carp hooks that are a bit smaller. I don't have anything bigger than a 4 on the Simmons. Alright, switch to the Carp 4. One potato. And I will do the same on the other rod as well. This one's on a Carp 6 already, so it's good to go. Yeah, that's one thing I need to invest in is some more hook options. So where am I? 33.1. Not that rod. Get the potatoes back out. And so the one thing I've been considering is Berserk Bloody Series. Yeah, I've been looking at those and a couple others. Definitely on my radar for sure. I also need to get a leader for my telescopic rod, so when I'm at Old Berg, I can use it to go after eel and some other little predator fish. Okay, see if we can have a chance to catch something on the telescopic now. I don't. Have not purchased the leader tool yet, unfortunately. One day I'll probably force myself to sit down and farm some bream, get some quick skill gains in silver, and get some of those miscellaneous upgrades though. Nothing hitting the worm yet. I do want to try to go after some barbell at some point on this map. Let's see, what are they hitting on? Stuff I do not have for the biggest things, but they're going after dice cheese and honey dough. I might be able to do that. Something on the algae line again. Ooh, one took it and ran. At some point when I get a decent bit of silver saved up, I do need to make the effort to go over to Quarry and get some cheese and cottage cheese and such for ground baits and diced cheese. Another 6.5 kilo grass carp. Alright, let's try mixing things up on this telescopic here. Let's try some pearl barley. I'm going to bring the depth up a little bit because this looks a little deeper. Nope, too deep. Still too deep, it looks like. Guess this area is a little more shallow than it looked. The carp just aren't going to give me a good opportunity to make use of my telescopic, I think. Here we go. This one's a little one. I'm not even going to call this a grass carp. This is just a minnow in disguise. Someone's koi fish got loose. That's what that was. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. Alright, back to trying to get something. I went back to worm. What's the deal here? Alright. I'm afraid to try and catch bait because I know as soon as I use the scoop, something will hit one of my carp lines and I'll be out of energy. But it's worth the risk. I love it when I get all three. So gamer, I've been thinking about the other two Norwegian sea trips, and I think I'm going to probably wait a few levels for when XP gets a little bit harder to come by, and I'll probably do them in just 1 hour batches a day and just use them only for happy hour to maximize the XP. Make use of them to get through some of those slower levels around like level 30 or something probably. You're your last one right now? Oh, nice. Good luck out there. Should try my sonar strategy. It was working fairly consistently. I think there's something to it. Whew, 2 turbot already? Those are some fighters. False alarm, Hiko, false alarm. This one took it and ran. Can I turn you around? Nope. Nope. Maybe. This one's not too much of a fight. Grass carp. Grass carp. 4.9 kilo. XP is pretty decent for these, so that's good. Apparently nothing wants to hit on the telescopic, though. Do I get risky? I'm going to go for it. Algae on the telirod. Guess it's still too deep. Hey, that's where I do a lot of my bleak fishing there on Oldberg. I do plan next time I go back to Oldberg, I'm going to put a leader on this and try to go for eels. Cucumber power up. You gonna take those potatoes? You're just gonna play with them. Looks like it's on. Maybe. Yes. Oh look. More fish fillet. Yeah, I definitely need to get some size 1, at least size 1 carp hooks. I may even be able to go up to a 1/0 on, yeah, probably a 1/0 on this Titan setup. Don't go into the aughts. Yeah, I guess it probably would be risky. Could be a fun fight, though. One second, let me check the setting here. I'm about to give up on the telly rod here. So one thing I'm interested in looking into, now that I have them unlocked, I can use the inline or snowman rigs now, but I do have full investment in simple rigs, so it's a toss-up. If I'm still not sure if these points only increase your chance of getting a trophy, or if they increase the overall odds of getting larger fish when you're using that rig type. I haven't quite gotten a clear answer on that. Anyone in the chat knows. Yeah, that's what I figured. I know that having an inline or a snowman rig probably makes it easier to go after certain species, but right now I'm saving my points up for when I unlock carp rods so I can beef up that control. Yeah, snowman's the one where you can have like boilies and pellets floating at the top and bottom, if I remember correctly. Which would be really good for Tench out at Oldburg, because they love that stuff. Alright, telescopic rod, you're not doing anything for me. Time to switch you out for another bottom rod. Make sure it doesn't have anything that's going to draw a large fish on it. Let's throw size 11 on here. That'll do. I am playing in 2K actually, but I've got the stream is set to I think 720, but kind of want to try garlic dough out here. Yeah, unfortunately the ISP options I have around here are not great on upload speed, so I can't reliably do a higher resolution stream right now. I've been trying to get them to fix that. I know they've got a couple boxes being built right outside my neighborhood for some new subdivisions right now, so I'm trying to convince them to give me a fiber connection. Hopefully I can pull that off and start streaming in much higher resolution than I am. Something's on the algae, I think. Maybe. Oh yeah, Wi-Fi especially is a bandwidth killer. Come on. Come on, old Adriatica. I know you've got it in you. Oh no. Everything's active now. Yeah, not being able to use Ethernet, that's gotta be rough when you need high speed. Come on, big carp. Come on in. Hang in there, reel. You'll be upgraded tonight, don't worry. Need the developers to partner with Brembo so we can put some Brembo friction calipers on our reels. That'll do the trick. If it can stop a car, it can stop a carp. Hang in there, pole. I'll get to you soon. Looks like grass carp, I do believe. This one wore out pretty quick though. Oh no, it looks like it's a common carp. It's a decent sized common carp for the Adriatica. Alright, let's see what we got on here. Yeah, now that it's getting fought against, it's not so tough. Decent little grass carp from the looks of it. 6.3. Cucumber time. Nothing going after the smaller rod yet. Probably for the best. Alright, let's see. Might change the bait out on this. Garlic dough doesn't seem to be attracting anything. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. Does anyone have any tricks that makes getting out of snags easier than relogging? Because I think I've maybe gotten out of 3 snags successfully ever. $19 is the sweet spot for unsnagging. Yeah, this is, if there's one thing I would complain about on Russian fishing that I think definitely needs some work, it's this snag system. It's terrible. This may be a relog situation here. Come on. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think this is going to be a relog scenario. So let's go ahead and do that and come back to this spot. Well, guess we're going to bring the fish in first. Come on, carp, don't play with your food. Just take the hook. You know you want it. Oh, come on. Stop teasing me. There we go. No? Okay, never mind. Usually when the line drops like that, it's a good sign, but not tonight. There we go. Another small one. No match for the Titan. $7 kilos. I like that XP for such an easy fight. Okay, well, try this snag one more time, just for good measure. Nope, okay. We'll do a little map re-entry, because I don't want to spend 10 minutes fighting a snag. All right, let's get back to our spot. Grab some bait along the way. I wish there was a bait gathering tool for flies. Tired of buying those for my bleak obsession. Ran past it again. This is where I was. Alright. Gotta put some more bait in. Quality 9. Don't have any quality 10 yet, looks like. Okay. I don't think I got that all the way out there. Which that's probably something I'm going to do later this week, is work on getting ground bait crafting up to 50% so I can unlock some more ground bait recipe options. Should be pretty easy with happy hour. Just gotta spin the silver on the ingredients for it. There we go. Get those nice and taut. Okay, so Gamer, what do you think? What do you think we should throw on this smaller rod? So far, got no luck with pearl barley or with worms. Although I was using the worms on the float. Let's you know what? Let's try. I've got a lot of them. Let's see what bloodworm picks up out here. I don't use those often enough. Another snack of champions here. Oh, got something on here already. They sure do love playing with their food, though. There we go. Alright. Something with a bit of a fight to it. I don't even want to think about how much wear and tear this poor Adriatica is going to have from this. But the friction brakes are going to be replaced at the end of the stream anyways with some better quality ones, so it'll be worth it. I really think that extra 2 kilos of drag on this will make a huge difference on these carp fights. This one's a bit of a fighter. And get some hot line. Ooh. Something's putting some serious pressure on the Titan there. Yeah, whenever I see the heat prep go on, I drop down to green. This sucker is running with it. Yeah, I think I will upgrade the oil on this Adriatica in addition to the friction brakes if it's not terribly expensive. If it's another like 70 silver, I'm not going to, but if it's like 10, 15, might as well give it a try. I'm getting a little worried about what's going on with the Titan there, because I hear that thing getting run off too. This one's starting to lose its fight, though. Yeah, this is, oh boy. Now there's something on the bloodworm as well. Pull it off a bit. Should be a decent little carp, but I don't think it's going to be as big as the or as much of a contender as the leather carp we got on here earlier. It's not dragging me across the lake, at least. Starting to lose the fight. Well, hopefully whatever's on the Titan will already be worn out by the time I get to it. Come on. This thing seems to have gotten a little bit of a second wind. The line cool off again. Alright, again, what do you think? We got a grass carp, common carp, or other carp on the line this time. This thing's running with me again. It was on its way in. Oof. Which is that a graphics card driver or something doing it? All right, I think this thing's finally giving up. Ugh. That's rough. Is it does it keep you permanently locked out of the game when you do it? You have to roll back the driver, or is it just a one-time deal? Come on, this thing is. Okay, that's good at least. Oh, well, at least the ship there is decently fast. That does suck though, especially on those timed trips. This thing is worn out, but just doesn't want to come in. It would be nice if on those 3 trips they worked more like happy hour, where the clock didn't start until your first cast. But then I guess there'd probably be some people that would find a way to game that. But if they have the patience to do that, then oh well. Come on. I'm telling you, this thing got some energy in it again. Who's giving this carp cucumbers? Speaking of cucumbers. This thing's got to be coming in at some point here. There we go. Now it's top watered. And now it's back in. Alright, this better be a decent size for all that fight. Looks a bit hefty. Only a 7.7? Ugh, poor Adriatica. It's just not cut out for this work. Now to see what's on these lines, if there's anything still on them. Got something on the small line. Alright, what did we get on Bloodworm? A roach. Awesome. Spectacular. And now for this boy. This one took a lot of line out. Yeah, it's not full spool, but still 350. I'm sure this thing, as long as it's been running. But it was already worn out, so I'm good with that. See what we've got on here. Now the other lines are active again. 7.5 kilo grass carp. All right. Goodness. Let's get the easier fish first. Another roach. Oh, poor Adriatica. This reel's going to call the reel abuse hotline after tonight. Well, the roaches do seem pretty active against the bloodworms, if nothing else. Don't know how useful that really is, but it's there. I'm getting a little deja vu here. Well, here's to hoping that the Adriatica performs much better after the upgrade. Whew, this one's running. Feels like this one may be something other than a grass carp. I'm afraid to look at what the wear and tear on this reel is right now. Alright, looks like it's starting to run out of steam. Maybe. Yep, need to go around this little cove here. It's starting to act like it was worn out, but around here. I'll get taut a little bit here. Alright, should be pretty much caught up with it again here. What I want to avoid is it going a little further out this direction. So when we get to the side of it here, try to push it back towards where we were. Definitely feels like this one's one of the other carp species besides grass, though. Still got a little bit of fight on it. The luck I've been having here, the grass ones tend to stay in the area more, whereas the leather and the common tended to swim across the lake. But it could be a larger grass carp that just got just the right angle on me. Nice to catch a black carp again. They're so rare though, but the XP is so good. Alright, now I think this one's running out of steam. Dragging it through this shallow embankment's probably going to suck. Come on in, Carpy Carp. Foliage is so thick here, I have no idea how far out it is. I'm sure. But I'm assuming I've topwatered it. It's out there somewhere. And it's on the move again. think I can see it in the distance there. Grass is too thick to tell what it is, though. There we go. Yep, was a grass carp after all. 6.7 kilos. All right, back to the other rods. Yeah, they just let loose. I think I can hear the bite alarms all the way from here. All right, let's get the bloodworm line in first. The roach, and now for the titan. Ooh. This one's giving the titan a bit of a run for its money. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess I should leave them at the... I'm so paranoid from the past when I'd leave them set at a low rate and pick them up and they'd be in the red, but now that they're upgraded, it does make sense to leave them at a little bit of a tighter friction brake setting. Where's my line? This thing's on and off fights is a weird one. It's given the Titan this much of a hassle. It's got to be decent. Towards me here? The backdrop in this map makes it really hard to tell where your line is sometimes. Oh, guess what would help if I energied up. The old champion snack of cucumber and tea. Yeah, I think it probably would be worth it for me to invest in making coffee for Bear Lake, because these back-to-back carp fights, it's hard to keep the energy up with just tea. Slowly getting this one in. Can't tell what it is through the grass. Looks like another grass carp. They are loving the potatoes today. Where'd it go? There it is. 6.2 kilo. About average there. Alright, so I think as much wear and tear as I've definitely been putting on the Adriatica, I'm going to go see what we got for these fish, and depending on what it is, maybe go ahead and start traveling to take a look at the friction brake options for the Lacerti and the Adriatica. Mainly because I won't be streaming tomorrow night, but I'll be back Thursday Eastern time. So that'll give me a good reason to go ahead and just let these be worked on overnight. Let's see, one of these is the fish market. The van. Okay. Sort these by weight. Go ahead and sell all the rough and the perch and these. Anything under size for making into meat. All right. Meat, meat, meat. And the rest of them, okay, so that's pretty good. We were out here for, I guess, about an hour, a little over an hour. Oh, you have to leave the game running. It doesn't work while you're offline. Huh. Well, is that because I know when I did the repair on my reel, that did work when I was offline a few days ago. So replacements are different. Huh. So yeah, 156 silver is pretty good. Yeah, maybe that's the case. Maybe it's like a longer time period if you're offline or something. Man, I can't believe that a 1.6 kilo grass carp is only worth 50 cents there. It is worth much more to me as a piece of fish. Huh. Interesting. I wonder what happened with my repair then, because I definitely didn't have to stay online when I did my real repair. But if that's the case, I'll leave it running as much as I can while I'm not using the computer for other tasks. Alright, so that was pretty good silver for only about an hour, and only 13 fish for the 150-ish silver. Yeah, if it goes super slow while offline, that's probably still okay, because I probably won't have a chance to get on tomorrow anyway. But so if it's a 48-hour thing, then that might be okay. A big salmon on the telly rod. Alright, so with that being the case, let's go ahead and let's head to Mosquito first and take a look at the Adriatica upgrade options. And maybe we'll get some sort of insight from what it shows. I wish the workshop wasn't so far away on this map. You and Shots had the same idea there. Alright, so let's take a look at this. We're going to go ahead and take it off of the reel. How's my wear doing? It seems to be okay. Only 0.7 on the rod. All right, so the Adriatic option here. I probably need to replace these gears at some point. Bearings. That's not bad. Well, if it reduces wear for 10 silver, it might be worth it. I might consider it in the option after seeing how these changes do. 17.5% already on this friction brake. So yeah, it's 80 silver brings it up to a 9 kilogram upgrade. Let's see. So if we put this on, and then we change the grease out to. The greases are pretty pricey though. That's the concern. I wonder. You think is this a heavier oil? I wonder. The Siberia SYB. That's the cheapest silver option we've got here as far as upgrades go on this reel. I wish these would give, if you bring the information up, they don't really give anything other than the star rating. And going with anything like this, that's definitely way more than is worth it. So the affordable options would basically be probably this SYB oil or the Trident reel oil. I'm guessing this is what we've got on the Titan. So if we selected this, and so a full upgrade here is looking at 140 silver. I don't think that's worth it. And that 3.5 days on that to do all of those. We go back to this as the basic stock ones. No, don't replace it. That cuts off a couple days. So the bearings seem to take the longest of the three options there to replace. Oh, that's in-game days? Okay. So maybe that's why I was thinking that it was fine offline when I did the repair, because it said it was 1 day. So I assumed that was real time, and I logged in the next day and it was okay. So that makes sense. So 130 silver with the oil upgrade. I'm going to look and see. So the Siberia SYB oil. I wonder if that is what comes on the HSV. Okay, so maybe that's what you're thinking. Is it's the time is offline is real time, online, and if you're online, it's game days. So if this is what's on the HSV, I feel like that's probably worth it. I just wish there was more information on here as far as what the viscosity ratings and such were for the grease. So I think maybe I'll hold off on the grease for now and just do the friction brakes and see what it looks like. And why is this showing 93.69 when it's 79.80? Any ideas on, is there just like a service fee on top of the cost of the part? Makes sense. That's where they get you, the hidden fees. That's making me question this more now, because at 80 silver, I could justify the upgrade. But going from 7.5 to 9 for almost 100 silver, I don't know if that's worth it. But neither is using the Adriatica at its current equipment setup for the Carp I'm fighting. Well, let's put that away for now and take a look at the Lacerti as well. Yeah, there might be a slight difference I would notice, but like I think on some of the smaller carp, I'd probably notice the difference, but not much. Um, okay, so with the Lacerti, we can bring it up to, actually that's, if I can find somewhere to do the carbon drag, that brings it all the way up to 6.5 kilos, which is honestly really good. And considering the price of these, so yeah, I need to ask, I'll ask chat real quick because my concern is I don't want to spend the 15 silver to go to Volkov and it not be available there either. Let me see. Yeah, no, I checked Winding Rivulet and it wasn't available for silver there or Oldberg. So let's see if anybody in chat knows the answer to that. But while I wait, the grease. So it seems like the grease costs are the same regardless of the reel. The bearings on this, same options. But that's a pretty substantial upgrade to the Lacerti to go from its piddly little what is it right now? 3.8. So it's almost double the amount of max drag, which again, it's not going to make a huge difference on carp, which I don't really go after carp on this setup anyways. But I do use this for going after large bream and such, which seems like it's useful for. So the original was 5.5. If nothing else, I can bump this up to a 5.4 for 20 silver. And that'll give it a bit more of a bit more fight when I bring in a large bream or chub or something like that. So that's an option considered. Let's see what sort of. So this one they didn't really add in a fee to, or wasn't much of a fee. Let's see, did anybody answer in chat? Answer everything but what you need. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's give Volk a try, and I guess while I'm here, I might as well buy the map if it's cheap. What sort of fish are available here for bottom rods? You got good old bleak. Bleak and mussels. Well, there we go. That's that's all you need to be successful. Let's see, workshop. Hardware. Yeah, I do know this one's very much a troll map. All right, Lacerti. Okay, so 50 silver for an extra. Well, okay, compare these two. 30 extra silver for an extra 1.1 kilo. I agree. I don't think it's worth it. But the 5.4 is. I think it was like 60 cents cheaper back at Mosquito, but while we are here, where is the administration building? Here we go. Go ahead and buy this so next time I come here, I am prepared. Yeah, I agree. If it was, I think if the 6.5 was like 29 silver, I would go for the extra. I'd spend the extra 10 silver, but I agree. I think for what you're getting compared to this, although I guess the star rating means that have less wear, so repair costs may be better in the long run, but I don't plan on keeping this reel so long that that should be an issue. Is there anything in the Volkov shops that I should pick up while I'm here before I go back to winding? Do you have any specialty shops like some of the maps do? Guess this isn't anything. Tackle store. A moonshine shop. Alright, that's all they got. Alright, don't need any of that, so we'll go ahead and go back and update those friction brakes, and next time we'll see if we notice a difference. Go to the right place. Yes. And it's a shame that Titan doesn't have any upgrade options for the friction brakes. It'd be neat if you could get it up to like 14 or 15 kilo. Alright, so on the Lacerti, let's go ahead and throw... Yeah, that's not a huge upgrade for... Because its base is like 15.7 for the HSV, isn't it? 15 even, okay. So yeah, it's only 2 kilos for, I'm sure it's a costly upgrade. Alright, so this is going to give us an extra 2.2 kilograms of drag on the Lacerti. And on the Adriatica, we'll throw these on, which gives us a little bit, good bit more. I'm still on the fence about this one. I mean, how much would it cost just to do a replacement? 20 silver. I feel like if the grease was more affordable, like if I could get the some of the higher end grease for around 25 silver instead of the 2-star grease, I'd feel more confident about getting the carbon brakes plus the grease upgrade. This definitely isn't worth it. That's like, what, 0.3 kilos of drag added? Wait, 7.5. That's the stock. So never mind. That's just the full replacement. Okay. And this one's not much, so now's the decision time. If I don't do this upgrade, I'm at 200 silver right now. I could go for, so this rod has a, I think it's 12.7 capacity, 12.5 capacity. So it wouldn't be able to handle even a Titan. I think the Titan's 12.7. So my only upgrade route to keep this rod would be probably a Saber. So the question is, do I go for getting the equivalent of a Saber 40 for a tenth of the cost, or just save up and get a Saber, or maybe even save up for a HSV before getting that? Like, get the Saber? Okay. Because the Carp has been, I'm probably going to make Bear Lake my my main go-to other than my daily bream and muscles. And I do feel like that extra little bit of oomph that this upgrade would give would be noticeable on at least the smaller Carp. They're still going to spool me like crazy, but I think it may reduce the time by a few minutes per catch. For the sake of science, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to be the guinea pig for everyone, and we'll find out if it's worth it. I'm still not sold on the grease option yet, mostly because I really don't know, because they have the details here saying that on a high-speed reel you want an oil with low viscosity, on a heavier reel something with high degree of viscosity, but all we can really go by is the brand name of what they're attached to. What is the Titan is a Sputnik. But we can't get that with silver. So I'm going to leave the stock oil on this for now and see if it causes the line to overheat a lot more noticeably. But, and again, that service fee is, I feel, the biggest issue here. And the cost to just replace is 20. I just don't know if it's worth it. Let me go to the tackle shop and see what else, because I know the HSV is definitely the long-term option, but I'd be getting another rod and another reel to get that, which I can put my Fortuna feeder towards the HSV and repurpose the Palmer for another reel. So what are the rod options that I could use in that scenario? Go with feeder rods. How does this one stand up? So I could go with, let's see, this one is 12.5 as well. So I'd be looking at bare minimum another probably 700 silver, or sorry, 300 silver plus the HSV, which is 2,800. So I could either save up, for the 3,100, or go for it now. If I stick to just using the Titan at Bear Lake, and then I can probably go to a smaller hook. Maybe the option here is to go with a hook option. Yeah, that's true. I'll eventually will unlock carp rods. So the starting one here, cheapest option we've got, is plenty. So that's certainly something to take into consideration as well. So I guess for now, I think maybe the better option is to the Fortuna Carp is the main one people are using. Okay, so let's see. Those carp rods. Fortuna, so this one. And it is a 39 kilo capacity. Okay, so it'd be, I'm guessing, around 2,000 silver if it's more than this, or maybe the same price. So that'd be the long-term option, same price. Okay, so I'm just trying to think of something I can do that allows me to have a second carp rod while I'm at Bear Lake right now, because the Adriatica is just definitely not cutting it. And I don't want to, it's going to take me a while to save up to get even just the HSV, let alone another rod to go with it. So if there's something that is maybe like exactly 12 kilos, maybe that could work. Okay, so the Alpha is the one you mentioned. That gap there is the problem. I'd have to get another rod to support the bigger Alpha, which I guess could probably work. The Alpha 8K. Yeah, the problem there is that's so close to the HSV price. And I'd have to get a rod to, I don't know, I think I'd probably just make the jump to the HSV at that point. if I can find something that is like right at 12 to 12.5 kilos, like even this is, but that's the same issue where it's so close to the HSV price. I'm just thinking of something that I can repurpose my Palmer rod to use, that I could use as a second carp rod, and that should help me bring in money a lot quicker if I do that. Siberia gold, nope, too big a jump there. Yeah, Amber, let's see, what level is Amber at? That's at, yeah, I'm sure by the time I get to Amber, that's still 6 levels away. I'm, probably not too worried about that. My main concern right now is just that since I plan to do, a lot of my, yeah, the Titan will become my second or third rod when I get there for sure. I'm just looking right now as what I can do with, preferably keeping my Palmer rod, or I can upgrade to maybe the Percy. So it's got a 12.5 cap. So if I can either repurpose it with a new reel or pick up the Fantasia for, what is it, 14 kilogram. So maybe I can pick this up for 328, and I think there's, yeah, I guess the price difference really isn't that huge. So if I pick up another feeder, that does give me that does future proof me. So that's a good idea. I can get another Fortuna, which can allow me to go all the way up to 19. And then if I can find a reel for around like 800 to 1,000, that's at least better than the Adriatica, that allows me to use that as my second carp reel. That would be ideal, because I can definitely, if I do that, I should be able to get to the HSV a lot quicker. And so you said, yeah, in that case, I'd be looking at, yeah, for specifically those, I definitely. So is there anything cheaper than the Titan that at least has? Like, I'm trying to think if there's something in between the Titan, because the Titan's pretty expensive as well. It was like 1,600 or so. Or actually, no, I think it was like 1,800. Yeah, it's just I know it's just been going so slow with the because as we saw, that Adriatica is just not working as a second carp rod. The amount of time it takes to reel something in. I mean, the repair costs aren't bad for it, so I'm not too worried about that. But when it's taking 10 minutes to fight for a fish that's worth maybe 6 silver, it's just not cutting it. And if I get another Titan, if I spell it correctly. So it's at 12.7. The big thing on it is the reel length, the spool length, but I'm not even really. I'm only using 350 meter line anyways right now. But so this is the first one, the lowest tier one that's got the actual carp fishing feature, is what you're saying as far as the low end. Okay. And what exactly does that feature do? Does it increase like the carp bite rate, or like the fish control when you're fighting them, or something along those lines? Yeah, wondering what those features actually mean. I'm guessing that it's probably factors into the reel in when you're fighting a carp species. Probably has something to do with that. But yeah, I mean, that's worst case scenario. That's what I go for. Is I just save up for another Titan and Fortuna combo, and then I can just work on upgrading the Titans to HSVs down the road. But that feels a bit like a waste. I just really want to get a second carp rod so I can go to Bear Lake and bring those carp in back to back more easily. But it does seem like there's really nothing below the Titan that's going to work for that. Yeah, I could do another Norwegian Sea tour. I'm just torn on doing that. The only reason I'm torn on doing that is because I feel like if I'm going, since I only have 2 left, the way I want to do it would be to only log in during happy hour and just try to use it to get as much XP as I can to burn through some levels quicker. Yeah, sometimes so last time I pulled in about 1,300 silver from the trip, but that was after accounting for the 216 silver I spent. So about 1,500 silver is what I got. So you made were you fishing in the 41-meter hole out there, or did you have a different spot that you found was more profitable? It's just the 41. Yeah, it's definitely so. If I'd made 2.5K the first run, I would have been in much better shape. But yeah, I only got about 1.5K out there. Did you fill? Was that filling any cafe orders or just pure fish market? Just pure fish market. That's pretty impressive. So maybe and were you using just the lurker 107 with the stock hooks and then fillets? Hmm. Maybe maybe what I'll do then is I will save up, get a I'll probably do some more Bear Lake since my schedule is going to be a little iffy this week, but maybe next week I'll plan to do another Norwegian Sea trip then and see if I can't pull in enough from that to get the HSV and the second Fortuna rod. And that plus the Titan setup will give me plenty then to go to do the dual rod setup for Amber. And apparently I've worked up an appetite here. Hit the old field kitchen. So that seems like the plan then. I will just make do with the Adriatica and maybe let's look at you mentioned those hooks. Maybe I need to go ahead and maybe something I can do right now is upgrade my hook for Bear Lake. So you said the Berserk Berserk Ultra, is this the ones as you were saying? Don't worry about it yet? Okay. Bloody. Okay, that's one you said. Just so I can get an idea. Okay, this one, the Berserk Bloodies. Okay. Look at the door to the shop. The Umba. Oh, that's the fly reel you were talking about. I agree. I think fly fishing would be great, but I still want to just be able to dual wield telescopic rods and just toss them out there, pull them in left to right. I didn't think to check to see if this crappy little Spark 2 can be upgraded just for funsies. Let's see if there's like a 5 silver upgrade for those. Oh, it can't be. Darn. So okay, so that's the plan. I will just save up for an HSV and Fortuna, another Fortuna feeder, And with the Adriatica setup, I guess I'll just, so I go ahead and remember now. Maybe I'll just downsize to like a size 8 hook. And that way I have a little less chance of getting anything feisty on there. And stick with that and look at, because I know this weekend I won't be able to do the Norwegian Sea stream again. But maybe maybe I'll save that to do a couple streams next week for another trip out there. It's all good. Good advice, good information, and maybe I'll get lucky and see where am I at on the bottom. So carp rod unlocks at 60%. Back to those carp rods here. It was what, 1700 for the Fortuna, and so the cheapest one, which it's not, it's a little bit more than the Fortuna feeder. So I think I'm just gonna, as far as carp rods go, I'll just save up for the Fortuna. No reason to go in between. So I think we've got the plan. And I guess that's a good point then to call this stream. And I won't be streaming tomorrow night, but I will be back the night after. Figure out, probably do some more Bear Lake, maybe either that, or if you guys want to see me struggle with some spin fishing somewhere, I'm open to trying that and see where we go. Thanks for coming out, everybody, and everyone have a good night or a good day, depending on your time zone, and I will see you all next time. Always a pleasure, gamer.